Hey, it's Randy here in the garage. What I've got in the work stand today is this Univega frame. Um, I've had this bike built up many different times, different configurations. Most recently, I built it up just specifically to test these handlebars that I had modified. Um, I do like the handlebars and the way it rides. What I don't like is that the bike's a single speed. I'd like to have some gears. I built it up as a single speed just because it was quick and easy. So I think I'm going to swap the wheel set out to something with gears, a derailleur, and we'll probably have to change out that chain ring, I guess, because that's for single speed. So let's just see what I come up with. Of course, this rear triangle was spaced out for a wider hub, but when I put this old coaster brake hub in there, I just put a bunch of washers in here to make up the difference. So poking around in the attic for a wheel set, I had this rear wheel with the tire already mounted to it, which I think would look good on here. And this is just a 5-speed freewheel, so I could get by with them not having to change out this chain ring or the chain, as long as I'm content with just 5 gears, which is fine with me. So I think we'll go with this, and I just need to find a front rim to somewhat match it, and then get the tire mounted on that front rim. So I'll have to get a derailleur mounted on there, and then we'll have to take the chain apart to get it through the derailleur. Well, this front rim looks like it matches. It's got the peak and even got a black hub. So let me get the tire put on there. Okay, let's come up with a derailleur and a shifter. Oh, we got all kinds of derailleurs to choose from. Oh, here we go. And we have a index 5-speed shifter. So that's Shimano. So we'll have to use a Shimano derailleur if we go with this shifter. think we'll just go with these. It just dawned on me, I'm either going to have to add links or put a different chain on here. Let me go see what I've got. Okay, I just grabbed another chain. We'll see if this is anywhere close to what we need. Whoa. Low and high, okay. Chain line's off quite a bit. Didn't even dawn on me. That's why the noise. So I need to remedy that. Oh, I suppose I need to put in a narrower bottom bracket, or I could try a different crank. So let's see, I'm going to need looks like a 68 and something narrower than 119. We'll have to see what I got. $68. Well, I don't see the width on there. Oh, that's too big. Ah, 68 by 113. Let's give that a go. Well, it's better than it was, but not by much. Let's see. We had a 119 with the bottom bracket, the spindle 119. We went down to 113. Ideally, I think we could use I think it's a 110 maybe. Shoot. I could also put some spacers in here maybe to move the chainring over a little bit. I may think about that. So I've got all these cup and cone bottom brackets, but they're all too long. So I'm going to see if we can't space it out with these, move that chainring inwards a little bit. Well, I didn't really think that through. The hole's not big enough to go over the nut. So I'll have to rethink this. I'm going to try a different crank. So looking at the chain line with this crank arm, and it's not even on tight yet, I think that is going to move us in just a little bit, which is what we need to get a little bit better chain line. So I'll just go with this crank set. All right. Well, I don't know what I've done now. This chainring is throwing the chain, and now I can't even get the chain unbound. Yeah, that's not good. If that were to ever happen while riding, I'd really be in a pickle. Okay, I may have to just take this chain apart or the crank arm off. Let me show you here. It's getting caught up where the where another chain ring would bolt to. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the crank arm off and just cut these off. I will never be putting a second chain ring on there. But then I'll still have to figure out why this is throwing the chain. Okay, I went over them with the flap disc to kind of smooth them out a little. So I got those nubs cut and ground off the crank arm. Got it put back on. I don't know. It was throwing the chain earlier. I didn't change anything. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I cut those nubs off the crank arm there. So if it does throw the chain, it doesn't get bound up in there, and I can put it back on. But so now I need to get the shifter cabled up to the derailleur. So I'm going to need to take this grip off and the brake off to get this shifter mounted. I'm going to change the grips anyway to different color. Okay, I'm going to see what I have for grips. So I've narrowed it down to these 3 grips. It's like BMX grip, I guess. Afraid that might be a little too fat though to be able to hang on to that and grab the brake lever. And I got this, what is this, a GT grip, and of course an Ori grip, which the logo of the bike has both kind of the green of the tire in it and also this blue in it. So I think I may just go with these. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this shifter cabled up, and then we'll check back in after that. Okay, shifter's cabled up. Pedals, I got this blue, purple, or I could put the black that was on there back on. These don't really match the grips. Maybe we'll just go with these, the purple. Oh, need to tighten up the cables on these brakes. Oh, there we go. This turned out to be a little more of an ordeal than I'd planned on, but anyway, we worked through it. So other than maybe adding a basket or a rack, I think that's it, and ready to ride.